Hello, everyone. It's Charlton, and I just want to try to clarify this. The reporting on this is it's happening so quickly, and there seems to be cross currents. I don't even think this is the final version. It's not. But in terms of his status, Cristhian Rivera, the person who's charged with the murder of Mollie Tibbetts, and actually he's in court today. And I'm going to show you a portion of that right here. It's his first court appearance over his. So basically a bond hearing, even though his bond was set. He might have been in court once before this. I'm not real sure. His bond was set at $1 million cash only, but today they changed it to $5 million cash only. And actually there were a couple of matters that were talked about in court today, one of which his attorney filed some kind of motion to basically have it be a private hearing, a private I guess a private hearing, I don't know what it's called, basically so that the press wouldn't be in the courtroom, cameras wouldn't be in the courtroom, and the court ruled against that. So it will be open to the public. I think they've restricted it to one still camera and one video camera, I believe, and so that was one of the issues. Another issue was whether or not there's whether he wanted to waive his rights to a preliminary hearing, and he did not waive his rights to a preliminary hearing. So the preliminary hearing was set for August 31st, which is, the day before Labor Day weekend, I think at 2 in the afternoon, 2 p.m. He had his own counsel there, a privately attained attorney, and that they went over whether or not he wanted the court to see whether or not he qualified for to have a court-appointed attorney, and he did not. He wanted to keep the attorney that had been retained for him, as well as there was two interpreters there, one from the court, and there was a privately retained interpreter there too. Okay, I can only assume, and I don't know this for a fact, but I can only assume that his employer, the Yerby Farms, are the two, is who's retained those persons. But I don't know that for sure. I just don't know that he has the resources to do that. But that would be my guess, and I'd say it's fairly logical. Okay. So, it went on for a bit. There was a couple there, I think, I believe, I'm not positive though, a couple and who looked like the parents of his girlfriend. And his girlfriend, I think, who I'm almost positive was in court with the daughter on her lap, which I believe is their daughter, and I think all of them work for Yerby Farms and they live on Yerby Farms, all right? And so I just saw it right now. Before, there was a couple different reports, but I saw from Fox News that they've now changed their report on in terms of whether or not he was vetted through E-Verify. They're saying now, according to Fox and one other place, the owner of the property or the manager of the property, Dane Lang, I believe that's his name. It is Dane Lang, and that's what they're calling him. Its co-owner and manager, Dane Lang, clarified Tuesday afternoon that the farm did not use the federal E-Verify system to check the suspect, Cristhian Rivera. Okay, so they did not vet him through E-Verify, but through another thing, and now, but this conflicts with something else. I'm sorry, it's really choppy, but it's just this is what's out there right now. So, despite the company's earlier claim that it did use the E-Verify. So it didn't use the E-Verify, and now it says Lang said Rivera provided a state-issued photo identification and Social Security card. Quote, "We learned that our employee was not who he said he is." And Rivera, 24, was arrested and charged with first-degree murder Tuesday after the body of Tibbetts' 20-year-old University of Iowa student was discovered in a cornfield. So now, but over here, where it's talking about death threats to the farmer, which they've said they've received multiple phone messages, some of them death threats. It says, my computer's overheating again. Lang said the farm ran the information through the Social Security Administration's employment verification system, and it checked out. So that, I think, is different from E-Verify. It is. He said the farm didn't use the E-Verify system as it asserted in a statement Tuesday night, saying an employee was mistaken. Okay, so it didn't use the E-Verify system. It used the Social Security Administration's employment verification system. And I guess I'm deducing that, he's saying Lang said Rivera provided a state-issued photo identification and a Social Security card, and I guess the presumption is that they were fake, and that's why they checked out when they were ran through the Social Security Administration's employment verification system. Excuse me. Okay, so, but that's not the end of the story, because over here, I saw a headline and a couple different headlines where basically the lawyer said the person's not here. He disputes the claim that he's here illegally. Lawyer for man accused of Mollie Tibbetts' death says he is in the country legally. Over here, and there's an explanation to that too. Attorney challenges whether Iowa suspect is in U.S. illegally. And according to this article here, it says court documents. Cristhian Rivera, 24, made his first appearance in court in the death of Mollie Tibbetts, whose July 18th disappearance while jogging set off a massive search. In a court document, defense attorney Alan M. Richards stated that an employer had said Rivera has legal permission to be in the United States. The document named Craig Lang. This is the brother of Dane Lang. This is the person who ran for secretary, agriculture secretary in the state of Iowa, a Republican candidate in 2018, and he was also the former head of the Iowa Board of Regents, which oversees the state's 3 public universities. Lang is co-owner of a dairy that employed Rivera. I already forgot the name of the farm, Yerby. I think it's Yerby Farms. So I don't understand that exactly. He also is the former president of the Farm Bureau of Iowa. But this seems to suggest that his position as the former head of Board of Regents, which oversees the state's 3 public universities, the document named Craig Lang, a former, gave him. That's where the permission, written permission came. The legal permission came from. I don't understand that. But that's stated in a couple different reports. It's stated here as well. Same thing. It's just the same exact word. In a court document, defense attorney Alan M. Richards stated that an employer has said Rivera has legal permission to be in the United States. The document named Craig Lang, a former head of the Iowa Board of Regents, which oversees the state's 3 public universities. Lang is co-owner of a dairy that employed Rivera. Rivera's immigration status was confirmed by E-Verify, but I've just said that that's not really the case. Electronic immigration status check, said the Lang family in a statement. They've already amended that statement. Richards sought a gag order and said comments about the case by President Donald Trump would poison the entire possible pool of jury members. He also asked the proceedings be closed. So he sought a gag order. I don't exactly gag order on anybody from speaking about the case or on the president. I don't really know what he means by that exactly, but it was denied. And but he also sought to have it, that the proceedings be closed and not in private, not open to the public. So sorry for the I got to get going, man. And I'm going to play portions of this. Right now, it's just he's in court. It's fairly lengthy. I'm just going to jump around and give you a little bit of a bird's eye view from in a couple of different spots that I'm familiar with, and then close this out.
This is Magistrate Diane Crookham-Johnson. Today's hearing will be digitally recorded because we are using an interpreter for today's proceedings. Mr. Rivera, you're not required to say anything at this appearance, but you are given the opportunity to say something. Would you like to say anything before I order the terms and conditions of your release from jail? Mr. Rivera, the following terms of release from jail is about the terms and conditions that I have just listed. No. Mr. Brown, is there anything you believe the defendant should be apprised of today before I close the record?
Judge, you did.
All right, man. I'm going to take a look at this tonight, and I'm sure there'll be some cleaning up of all this information and the various discrepancy. And this is, there's a lot more to this story, I think, and we'll see. We'll see. Well, that's the end of this video. That's the story there for now. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.